So in 1985, our fire chief, Dave Wanika, moved to Kirtland. It was at that point that I took over as chief. And we had sent out a publicity thing to various, I think nowadays we'd call them stakeholders, but to various entities about Dave's leaving in the years that he spent with the fire department and some of the achievements during his tenure and whatever. One of those was sent to the Daily Times because we had actually had some Farmington firefighters go do training in Kayenta, a couple of the state fire school things that we had. And also because Dave was going to be in Kirtland, I wanted the Valley Fire District to know that. Tori Adams was a reporter for the Daily Times, and I guess she called up the state fire marshal first, and then she called me up and asked me some questions, and then she did an article. And that's where I learned that I was Arizona's first female fire chief, because I hadn't really thought about it one way or the other. But when we went to fire school that September, the state fire marshal, who was a very good friend of mine anyway, was doing the opening speech at the fire school. There's like 700 fire people there. I had a horrible sinus infection, allergy-wise, September. Yeah. And I just remember, kind of being inside my own head. And one of my captains elbowed me and said, "He's talking about you." And I was like, oh. And so he introduced me as Arizona's first female fire chief. So I was like famous when we walked into bars during that fire school. People would turn and point, hey, that's that lady fire chief.
Nice.
But it wasn't, it was never an issue in Kayenta. We all...
You'd all been working together.
Yeah,
you know each other.
When firemen talk about the brotherhood, and you really do, without it being dramatic, you really do rely on each other for safety and for your life.
Absolutely.
And so we had established trust with each other.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so then after a couple years of being fire chief, they invited me to be on the Arizona State Fire Training Committee, and that's the group that put together the fire school, and I was thrilled about that. Yeah. And then in '91, I left the fire department,